Hey, real estate rock stars, welcome to the Whole Enchilada of Real Estate Investing, the only podcast that serves up the full feast of street smart strategies to build wealth and take control of your financial future. I'm Lou Brown, and I've been in the real estate game since 1976, so I've learned how to make the whole plate worth it. Each week, I'll be dishing out creative financing hacks and proven systems that help investors build multi-million-dollar businesses. No fluff, just the good stuff, straight from the source. Ready to dig in and start making deals? Let's get to it. Welcome, everyone, to another installment of the Lou Brown Whole Enchilada of Real Estate Investing, and today I have Vania Rincon from none other than the Riviera Maya. Beautiful, beautiful place. I've been there before. It is so wonderful. She's in Tulum today, joining us from Mexico, and she is going to share with us some amazing things about her real estate career. How you doing, Vania?
Thank you, Luis. I'm doing great. Just got here for the holidays and to check some properties here too. So it's all good. Thank
Ah,
you for the invitation, and I'm excited to share this space with you.
it sounds like a great excuse for a write-off, right? You have to go down there and check out properties.
Perfect. Well, it is kind of good to invest here because I like it. So it's a good write-off, and yeah, I can enjoy life. Life by design, right? Life by design.
Life by design, that's the best kind of life to have. And
Yes,
when we do something that we love, it really makes life interesting. So tell us
yes.
about yourself. Where are you from originally, and where do you live now, and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in Mexico City, and I finished high school there. Then I went to Los Angeles and did college, and then became, I was in the fashion industry. And then well, first human resources, then from their fashion industry, and then real estate. And I've been doing real estate for 20 years already.
Oh, that's
Yes,
fantastic. 20 years is
yes.
awesome. Well, I got you beat by double. I'm over 40 years in the business, buying, holding, and selling real estate. So you've got a lot to look forward to, that's for sure.
Absolutely. This is inspiring. Thank you. 40 years in the business. So that's so cool.
It is
Like,
a beautiful thing. I'm so
yeah.
blessed that I was able to find real estate as a young man. In fact, I bought my first house when I was 18 years old. That's the first house I ever lived in. And I was able to have my mother come in as my first tenant. and, and then, things evolved over the years, and we've been able to now have licensees of our system. We're certified affordable housing providers, and we have licensees of our system in all 50 states and in fact in 16 foreign countries, and they follow what we do and how we do it, and we're able to get a much higher return on our real estate investments because of how we do what we do. And I love working with real estate agents because real estate agents bring us all their leftovers. Everybody that they can't sell a house to that has perfect credit, right? That's like that 20% that absolutely you can get them a house, you can get them qualified. But in our world, we take all your leftovers. So anybody that can't fit inside that banker's box, we work outside the box, and we help deserving families to end up with home ownership regardless of credit or financial background. So that gives you
That's lovely.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And we love working with real estate agents because many of our people are real estate agents, and they actually adopt our brand and adopt what we do and how we do it. And they add it to what they're already doing in their world. So that gives you a little bit of a connection with the type of real estate that you do. So tell us more about that. What type of real estate do you do, and where do you do it? And um,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Well, Luis, thank you. And first of all, let me acknowledge you because that's kind of when I started the business, I kind of do a lot of nonprofit for our clients, so they can get this dream of a house, especially to first immigrants, right? And I work with many programs, and that's been huge in my career because as an immigrant myself, when I came to the country, I realize it's so important to have a place, to have ownership. It teaches you so much. It's not just the gift of having a property, it's even give the accountability of having a property, to start investing, like to become an investor, maybe in a smaller. But I'm like, that's legacy. That's another type of education that you don't get at school. And that I became very passionate about. Like you said, like I'll go to all corners and I'm like, hey, we get to do this. If we get them young, my first condo was at 25 here in the country. So it's like, if we can get people young through the years, we can make them equity millionaires and help multiple generations. And then maybe this is the opening for them, opening up to other investments and keep growing. So I really acknowledge you for that. I really appreciate that approach. You having property 18, I'm gonna probably put this video to so many young people that I'm like, let's get you units, let's get you units first, and then you buy your dream house, and let's make you something for your future, right? So absolutely, I get you. Definitely, we have some challenges, and sometimes in some days, sometimes not all the learners. So it's good to know that people we can collaborate with, and that they're gonna be really in the mind of maybe it takes 6 months, a year, but we'll help the client, and we're not gonna drop you just because you don't qualify now. So I guess that's a huge commitment. So I hear you. I can see the years, and if you're going through that experience, when you go through these experiences, it's great because we can share them and really bring them to the clients, right? If they open and they're willing and committed, I always say, because you're willing and committed, we'll help you.
That is so true. And really, that's one of the things about when you're working with folks, you're
Yes.
finding out what their situation is. Then you discover, hey, you're not bankable right now. You're unbankable, but we know somebody
Hmm.
that can definitely help you. And
Yes.
by the way, real estate agents can earn up to a full commission when they're working with us as well. So definitely it's not just a handoff and have fun with that, but actually we're going to support you and we'd love to do that because we know that you're going to bring us more people. You're going to spread it out to your office, spread it out to other folks. We got one lady. She joined us. She bought a house for herself and from our program, and she has 9 daughters, and already 3 of the daughters have gotten a house from us as well. So that's 4 houses for that one family, and her goal is all of her daughters are going to get a house from us. So it's just beautiful, as you said, the generational approach and the way that people can start building up their equity and building up their future. It's so important. And it's something that they don't teach in the schools, and they should teach it because it's life. It's life.
It
It's
is.
the thing that everybody should be working towards.
Absolutely. Well, very great to hear this. And again, it takes a village sometimes, even though sometimes the public only see like the realtor or the lender. But I always say, if they only knew all the people that are involved, and like sometimes, like, the little contracts, how we can support, and it's a good it went that you had that. But talking about my career and going to that age, um, I right now I've been progressing through the years in my career. So I started as a regular realtor, just listings and sales and all that good stuff. But now I'm also multi-unit certified. I'm commercial certified, but I don't want to be taking that title because commercial is a very complex. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, when we say commercial, I used to take it lightly. The more that you know that you don't know anything, a kind of thing in life. So, so I would say I'm actually multi-unit certified, in that sense, and maybe a small plaza in the corner with a medical office or something, but nothing with inventory. So that's another strategy. I'm senior certified, and I have done a lot of short sales and when the market fall, and I also handle probates. through the years, I'm sure you're like right now I'm selling a listing on a probate. And also I have a team. We're five of us.
Ah,
So um, so we do a lot of people like first time home buyers with them. I'm I've been moving because I'm in Beverly Hills. So my team, we're a strategic, very strategic in Los Angeles. We have somebody in the Inland Empire, somebody in the South Park, Long Beach, somebody in our Hollywood, Ventura area. So I'm in the West Side. And then we have somebody close to LAX, Gardena, all that stuff. So each of us kind of handle some areas so we can serve the client. We're always a team. Like I might get a strategist, my team shows, or um, anybody has like a special because LA changes so much according to the cities. We have pre-sale city reports, different taxes. So each of us like, okay, this person will handle these so we can have best services for the clients. I think now LA is so big. I think teams have become very great, like in order to serve the client in the best possible way, right? So I were going this transition. I still love I honestly love listings, but I love buyers just because it's not the same to deliver a check than to deliver a house keys. But I also take a lot of pride in knowing my contracts to protect sellers because I always think in listings is what the seller really needs us. The contract is very pro buyers. So I take a lot of pride, like when we get a listing, like to really check the contracts, getting strategies, marketing, and reinvent yourself, especially in this market that is slowing down and all depends. So at least in LA, last year was a little slow, which less buyers, and we always have to find those points that is a win-win for everybody still, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And
So
I'm
that's the
working
area
on
that you focus on is working with buyers typically.
yeah, most of my team. I'm concentrating now more in listings.
Ah,
So
wonderful.
yeah,
Okay.
but my entire team, yes, and we do help a lot. Like in we speak English, Spanish, and we even have somebody that speaks like Arabic now. And then so yeah, we have a lot of programs. We are constantly concentrating.
You'll love
Perfect.
that we've even got our
Yes.
brochure all in Spanish, and we've got our websites in Spanish and everything else
Awesome.
with the path to home ownership. And, so that is a very valuable thing, being bilingual and definitely in the area that you're in, that's quite powerful. And you're working with that dynamic of people that love home ownership, right? It's not something
Yes.
over there, it's something they absolutely intend in their life. And it's been a powerful thing for us. We just had a family in our office this past Saturday that have been with us 29 months, don't speak a word of English, and uh, and they started with us and they put their money down as rent to own, and we moved them up to our in-house financing program. So once they have built up or have 10% down, then we put them into our in-house financing, and so now they're qualifying for that under our program, and they got 29 months worth of credits. So we give them a credit every month that they pay on time. Well, these folks have paid every month on time. And so they get all of those credits towards moving up to the next level. And that's one of the things that, is an opportunity for a lot of people that really don't fit inside that banker's box.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very excited to hear this news. I think we always need to get these opportunities um, on the areas, especially with the more Latinos. Is my team. We work like the team is more now concentrated on that. I'm making the change into the luxury because I'm of my office in Beverly Hills and West Hollywood. But this is something that we can still use a lot because most of the buyers are not luxury buyers, right? The volume is comes here of course, again, I you grow progressively. Now I live in West Hollywood myself, so it's been. But this is great, and I really want to say something. I love that you get the credits, even if it takes 29 months. I always tell to the clients and the stuff. This is where you become a professional. It's like you don't give up on people. You tell them, hey, we're gonna guide you through. This is what we do. It's not like the easy 1 month. At the same time, I always tell the clients. be careful because you can speak with 100 people. The whole thing is who you can have access. You make appointments. You are responsible to do also check-ins because this is your future. And if somebody's willing and giving you the say we can do the checklist and stuff, take advantage. Stick to it. Be consistent. Let's make you dream. It takes that consistency, right? So for me, that's very important. And absolutely, again, I really appreciate. I would like to know more about the program. I didn't know about these. And I think my team will be excited. And again,
It'll
even
be
for
fun.
refis, right now we're gonna have to have help. So if you're talking about like it would be a great thing like to see what about refinances of people who have equity. We have sometimes cases of divorce. Who are helping these people right now? We
Right.
need to be supporting them and thinking about this. Now the interest rate might not go through. They were gonna lose a house. Can somebody pay off the other ones? I'm always in my head how we can bring in the most value to
Mm.
our clients.
Well, you're thinking just right because usually people are handing them off. They're saying,
Mhm.
oh, well, when you get good credit, come back and see me. I'll sell you a house. And that's not the way that we think. We think, look, you got your current situation and we've got a program that can help you. So you get on board, you stay on board, and eventually you'll build up your credit, you'll build up your down payment, you'll be able to buy the house you're in, or we'll transfer that to another house in our inventory, or we'll purchase a house for you to move up to the next level. So we've had people move from house to house to house. As you said, get started somewhere, get something that you can afford now, and then be able to move up to the next level. So it's a fun thing. So you're also investing not only in LA, and by the way, my daughter just moved to LA and my son-in-law just moved to LA. They're
Welcome to LA.
Yeah,
We'll
baby.
get
They're in
to.
theater and the whole bit. And I speak out there too for Steve Love for the group out there and
Mhm.
also in Las Vegas and what have you. So it's fun. We'll have to get together. And
Yes, please.
and then so Riviera Maya, do you also invest there?
Yeah. Um, yes, as a matter of fact, I have also do the marketing partner for some companies here in the Riviera Maya because we have a strong power for Playa del Carmen in in Tulum and Cancun. So yes, and also I have partnership agreements, like marketing agreements for Oaxaca. The Oaxaca ones will be more like in the like some of them are high end, like it starts before when I started there was properties for 250. Now everything is kind of for 100, half a million. You can still find nice properties for the 350s, but it's crazy. And I do believe that Riviera Maya right now it had a bumpy starts after COVID, but the developments that are creating here, they're great. Even they're doing the pit for the Grand Prix between Playa del Carmen and Tulum. There's huge things happening, and I believe this area in 7 years, people right now is like people are not believing, but watch out. The
Okay.
same thing they said with Playa at some point, but Playa is still very stable. Um, it is the now the Tulum airport, and then now we have the train to that is connecting to all the places. So a lot of
Ah,
things are happening. I do like. I honestly I like this area because you can still speak English, German, like Russian. Everybody's here. You
it's-
can have the best food, and then it's just incredible. You have a lot of things within 2 hours that you can do. But the most important thing for me, like the thing that sells me in this area, is the ocean.
mm.
I know some types of the year you might have some sargasso, but even in San Diego we have it, to be honest. But here when it's blue and the white sand, still I cannot find anywhere, even though there's parts of Mexico.
So is
This
that why
ocean is
you
that like I love the beach here.
So is
Yeah.
that why you're both in LA and Tulum because you are attracted to the beach and you want to make sure that you can get there as often as possible?
Yes.
And a little bit
Yes.
warmer than LA, right?
A lot more warmer. I always like that. But I think the beach really attracts me a lot. Occasionally I still like to go to the ruins. It's amazing. And And yeah, I still think it's a solid investment. I'm thinking if I can in the future, um, LA is a very privileged city in the world. If not, I would say I'll be very bold to say that the most privileged as far as weather. We have the desert, we have a lot of entertainment, and we have a very multicultural feeling. The beach is amazing, but it's not as amazing as here. So I've sometimes in the future, it's like if I have to spend a couple months having LA as a home base, it's challenging to say like
Yeah,
where could be a great home. And for me, that was like um, the culture is great, people are nice, like the beach is great. You can go to museums. You can have like a city like near to like kind of Miami of Mexico, which is Cancun. Then you have something in the middle that is Playa. You have Xcaret, which is or Disneyland. So you still have the pyramids, and then you still have shows, and you still have
right.
great food from all over the world with authentic food. So I was like, this
Nice.
is kind of the closest thing, like where you can 2 hours and you have a lot to see, a whole world to explore, and gray weather and stuff like
So
that. So
let's
yeah.
say that you're talking to somebody that's new, that's looking
Mhm.
to get into real estate and
Mhm.
invest in real estate because you own investment properties in LA as well as in Tulum, correct?
Yes.
So if somebody's thinking about getting into the business or just new to the business, what would your advice be?
Well, um, this is tricky because I always like to ask a lot of questions based on the level like where we are at. But I'm gonna say something in general. If you're looking to invest, especially, um, I want you to think about this. There's never a wrong time to invest. And the reason why I'm saying is like you just notice what happened with inflation.
Yeah.
Your money on your bank is not going to make you any money. It's not going to save you from inflation. When you're buying something and you're holding it that has a value, if if everything increases, your investments are going to increase, and that's protecting you from inflation. So, what I'm not saying is so specifically about where to invest if it's in LA or something. Don't be afraid. Before I used to, when I started my career, I changed things. Everybody wanted to do it simple way because I bought sometimes in Sarasota, Florida, and people told me it's far. I got scared and ended up selling a duplex, which it was for me a mistake because that duplex, if I would have kept it in Sarasota, like so close to the beach, it would be amazing, right? But
Yes.
it was far. It was a cost of traveling. Now making numbers, it would be still a great thing to kind of be accountable, make it happen, stick to it, and just don't be afraid, and then stick
Well,
to the stuff. But
I like your
go ahead.
advice about, hey, there's never a wrong time, and inflation is going to be a benefit to you. There's no question about that. Whenever there's inflation, it is the property owners that win, and they're
Yes,
always going to win, and rents are always going to go up, and there's never a find a time when we're not going to get the benefit of inflation. And inflation happens ongoingly every single year. So it's something that you can bet on. It's something you can expect to happen.
exactly. And when you purchase a property, most of the time you get a fixed rate, which means that the inflation is going up. You're having a monthly payment, which with rents you would never secure, of a 30 years fix on the mortgage and the interest rate, like on the principal and the interest rate. So it's so huge, and people realize that for me because it's like, okay, you're investing in something, you're getting a fixed payment right now, even if it's a 6% right now. What bank lends you money at 6%? Credit cards are 22. So you guys have to see like that, right? That's for me the whole investment thing. And then another thing that I see is like I get it, guys, and then I my heart goes for everybody, even for me to do more investments, right? I'm first generation. It was very tough for me like to start, and but the first year sometimes you buy a property, like when I bought units I was putting it out of my pocket, but I had the vision, and I knew that within 2 to 3 years I was gonna change that. I was gonna make more money, and I did. Real estate. the first year is like kind of uncomfortable because you have a responsibility, but then 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you're like, I'm so glad I did this. Is the best thing of my life. Please let me get another one. And it's still scary, but like it's amazing because then you see that. But real estate sometimes it's immediate, but nowadays that it's kind of harder to find deals. It will take you a little bit, but if you don't do this investment, sometimes what are you else you're gonna do? Where are you gonna be growing your money and you're using it and renting it? So the whole thing for me right now in the team, we're also expanding it because we're in LA. We have a lot of situations when people can want to invest, but we don't have properties that are affordable for some of our clients. So we're even including in Houston, we have the right partnerships. We have new constructions that we can sell, and then they can put some money for the future, and there's not rent control. So we do as a group, we do a lot of investigations so we can bring these things for the
Huh.
clients and possibilities. So you guys can see, hey, this is my limit, but maybe I can only afford 400. What can I do in a city that is okay, that is nice? Um, as far as Mexico, I think it's great, but for Mexico, to be honest, like there's a whole thing that checklist that I will do for somebody to invest in Mexico. And for me, more probably, I, in my experience, not necessarily people sometimes that they really want to come with a family, that they want to retire eventually in a warming place. A lot of people are going to Florida. Maybe they don't want to go to Florida now. You can come to Playa del Carmen and have a very nice community, close community. But it's what you like and special. Maybe for
Yeah.
first time investors, Mexico, I'm not too sure. Again, all depends the family, like all depends the dynamics, right? So
Right.
that's a very broad question, but this is my take on. But like if you
That's a
can
good one.
invest, do it. Do it because it will support you. And sometimes we need to start to kind of getting in that investment mentality.
One of the things that I love is that I also teach what we do, and I have
Hmm.
a training called Millionaire Jumpstart, and I actually work with real estate agents to help them learn how to invest and how to actually make that transition and including what they're already doing with the concept of investing. So many real estate agents have never invested in a piece of property at all, and they're missing the boat. They're missing the
Yeah.
opportunity because they've got all the resources, they've got all the tools to work with to identify. As you said, it's difficult to find properties. However, we teach stealth methods that other people don't know. Wall Street doesn't know these, and they're not able to be close to the ground and in the communities to be able to identify these vacant properties. We call them $10 houses, and being able to just be able to use certain tools that we've figured out to be able to find properties that nobody else knows about. So agents love that because if they can't buy it for their own account, then they can go ahead and list it for the people and make the real estate commission on it as well. So it's kind
Luis, I
of
love you're
your cake
speaking
and
my
eat
language. You're
it.
speaking my language, so I love it. I have gotten into notes myself too, so it's like lovely. But I would love, like, I'm happy, and for all the realtors out there, I hope that like I'm always open, like to learn how about to acquire more investments, and I believe that even it's for the sake of everybody because the more that we have investments, more security, we are really providing even better customer service to clients. Is the truer word and our willingness to invest and find that we can also support others because of the knowledge that we have and then all that good stuff. So Louis, I appreciate your 40 years of experience. I can tell you I'm one of those realtors that I'm following you. I definitely not only would like that for me, I want that for my entire team.
Yeah,
Being a leader, I want them to have
yeah.
properties. Everybody that I know, I want them to have some type of financial security, which sounds easy, but like it's easy as a matter of fact if you're open to it, and
Yeah,
that's the
you
whole
got to
thing.
have the mindset. Your
Yes.
mind has to be open to the possibility. It's sort
Yes.
of like when we're working with buyers and they never thought about themselves as actually homeowners. They've always
Hmm.
seen themselves as renters. And we're saying, oh no, it's a new day. It's a new way. We've got a way for you to actually end up with homeowners. What? Who you talking about me? The same thing happens with real estate agents. They've never thought about actually being investors. So when I can open that door to them and say, there's another way that you can look at what you're already doing, and they go, oh, I really hadn't considered it that way. And I hadn't really looked at the numbers that way. So I love it. And I think real estate agents really can have their cake and eat it too. They can really be able to go on both sides, and then also the leftover customers that they've got that they can't put into a home right now, they can nurture them along the way, even sell them a home, be the investor. I call it be the bank. You be the bank for the customer, and who doesn't want to be a bank, right? The banks make all the money. So that's one of the things that we love about
Yeah.
working
Good
with.
notes whenever are always good. Yeah.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, you have been a real inspiration today. And definitely, I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to be inspired by your story because, oh my gosh, you got started at such a young age. And then you were able to buy your first property. And now we're 20 years later and you're in two countries and you've got a team of people working under you. So you continued great success to you. You're amazing. And for my folks, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they reach you?
Absolutely. So I have my webpage, which is elevatingyourfuture.com, and you can always set up appointments with us and with my team directly there. We have the first-time home buyers, we have the sellers, we have the uh, international investments, and we have the portfolio building, so you can select what you want there. So that's elevatingyourfuture.com. You guys can always direct me, text me. My name is Vania Rincon, and if you Google me, you will find me because I'm one of those, cell phone and everything. But even on the website, you can find my name again, Elevating Your Future or Vania Rincon. And it's also in Spanish, guys, para los que hablan español, elevandotufuturo.com. It's also in English and Spanish. And if you guys, if I can support with questions, I'm one of those. I really mean it from the heart. Even like in Mexicans, we say mi casas tu casa, like my mind is your mind kind of thing when I can. Um, so, so I will be love to help you. And not only I speak from me, from my team, like if we can support in any way, we would, as long as so is like respectful, you know. So, that's that. And Louis, also, if we can support you again, I would love to have more conversations about it. I'm all about implementation and supporting people. If I can support more of my clients that I don't wait, that's what I'm here for. Like I,
It's what we're
I'm committed to that's what makes me smile every day. Like what I'm gonna do, like what I'm gonna help, like how can I connect, you know? And so yeah, saying so, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for this. Thank you for going those routes because I know we work a lot more harder when we have to get this type of stuff. A lot of people don't know sometimes, but yeah, I commend you if you're finding ways for first time home buyers to learn this because um, people sometimes think it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of commitment on our end. So Louis, for the years, I acknowledge you for that. Sometimes people think that they're getting services and stuff for one transaction, but it's really like 25 years on the making on what we're studying and what we're trying to do, 40 years that we're being really trying to reinvent ourselves and in this market changing, so whatever, to try to find solutions and being able to create value to so we can support our
Yeah.
clients and support ourselves too. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's of course, but it's comes with that. So 40 years and creating this, it's amazing. So
It's
congratulations to
all a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for joining us today. And definitely you've given some inspiration to the folks that are watching. And we just want to make sure that you guys are taking away things that you're going to implement right away because we are here for your success. We definitely want you to get benefits from what we're teaching you today and certainly look forward to seeing you again soon. Yeah, baby.
likewise. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Take
So
care.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the whole enchilada of real estate investing. I hope you're feeling ready to take your investing game to the next level. If you're serious about building wealth, you won't want to miss the Millionaire Jumpstart. It's a 3-day live event that's perfect for any level of investor. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking to scale, this can be one of the final steps of making real wealth happen. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now at millionairejumpstart.com and get ready to make big moves in your real estate journey. I'm Lou Brown. Until next time, keep hustling, and remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how smart you play the game.